good morning, folks. Today is Friday. Whoop, whoop. Friday, August 19th. This is episode 179. Get some of that of Simply Cyber's daily cyber threat briefing. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next 30 minutes, I'll be delivering the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and most importantly, providing expert analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you operationalize this at work today or even next week? And if you're looking to break into the industry, not only are you going to be asked, how do you stay current in the industry? Because that's a guaranteed question. You'll have a sick answer, which is this one. I watch or attend or listen or am part of the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing. What is that, you ask, interviewer? Allow me to enlighten you. And then you just open up the Ark of the Covenant and full send the blast of what is the knowledge that we're about to discuss today or every day on this channel. I'm feeling spicy. Shout out and thanks to this stream's sponsor, Barricade Cyber Solutions. This guy right here, not me, that's a picture of me. Barricade Cyber Solutions, that's Eric Taylor, his whole gang over there. Listen, cyber criminals have stolen your company's data and derailed your business operations. Barricade Cyber Solutions will help you resolve this ransomware attack and help you get your business back on track. Like I said, it's basically digital forensics fire department. You definitely want to get it lined up. But you can go to barricadecyber.com. Eric's calendar is right there on the homepage. You set up a no obligation, no hassle, no shenanigans meeting and just kind of talk through what your situation is. He'll either tell you if he can help you or not, or he'll help you find someone that can help you. Okay? He's a good guy. I want to remind you, if you hold professional certifications that require CPEs, each episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing is worth one half of a CPE. It's basically one CPE per hour of knowledge. And, you know, the show is supposed to run half an hour, although we go an hour almost every single day now. But just for the sake of argument, we'll say half an hour. Most programs aren't going to require you to take more than minimum 20 a year, on average 40 a year. We are going to blow it out the water. Even at half CPE a day. So stack them up, 2.5 a week, 10 a month. Be sure to document literally the easiest and I would argue the most enjoyable way to earn CPEs. How do you document it? Simple. Say what's up in chat. Say, hey, it's Jerry coming in from South Carolina, low country living. Hey, it's BSEC coming in from the Lone Star State, right? Wherever you are, hashtag Team Live if you want to keep it simple, right? Just some way that you are burned into the screen here. That way, if an auditor for the certification body questions you, you can just say, go check out the streams. I'm right there. I said, what's up? No big deal. If you are live with us, love it. I see 78 of us just on the Simply Cyber channels. We are pushing out to 4 different locations. LinkedIn people up in here. Eric Jordan knows what I'm talking about on LinkedIn. So we've got a good crowd coming in here. More people will file in as we get started. If you are watching on replay, go ahead and drop a hashtag Team Replay in the chat. It will also work for that kind of auditable evidence of the certification body. Plus, the hashtag Team Replay, you guys are a force all of your own. Definitely bringing the heat. I see you guys all in the comments. Definitely a great contingent of individuals who are catching the stream at a time that is most convenient for them. I do want to remind everybody, I was going to plug this at the halfway break. But just remember, guys, you can get Simply Cyber in your audio podcast app of choice too. After the stream every single day, we post the audio of this broadcast. Like what I'm saying right now will be in audio format in about an hour. And you can consume it that way. It's a little bit more, difficult to make the argument to an auditor that you did consume it. I mean, you could show them. I've been certified since 2009 in security certifications. I've never had an auditor push back on me. Just saying. So there is that. But if you guys like that, you can check that out as well. Now, where am I in my little spiel here? All right. Now, so obviously, if you're watching on Team Replay, you're in the future. Way to go. I hope it's beautiful in the future. But you guys have the power to skip ahead. If you're listening on the podcast app, 30 second, 30 second, 30 second, 30 second. Get right to the news. If you're watching on YouTube, grab the slider, slide it to the right. No big deal. I don't think LinkedIn has the ability to adjust it, which is kind of annoying. Long story short, for the next 2 minutes, I'm going to be sipping this cup of French roast coffee because it's wicked good and I need it, and saying good morning to all of these awesome people who are hashtag Team Live. So if you want to hang out with the pleasantries, be my guest. You're more than welcome. But if you want to get right to the news, bump ahead about 2 minutes. Having said all that, good morning, Steve Lappin, Jason Parker, Gail Salons. Hello, Ms. Foxy from NYC. The Alphabet City. I love it. John Cole on LinkedIn coming in strong. Parker Garside. Happy Friday is correct. BSEC man. Auditors are like, whoa, Jerry freaking Auger. Yeah, the auditors might be in here with us, y'all. Joel Belton's in the house, a regular on the stream. Angel Perez, hello. Amadou Ba, good to see you. TGIF is so understated. You're right. Eric Jordan, my man. Will Reed's here. Will Reed, everybody. Let's do it. Oh, Shane Prevost, 17 days. Summer break seemed to have gone quick. My kids are already back in school. Gregor Litek, good morning, Gregor. Good to see you. Oh, my God. The coffee, guys, the coffee, it's a real thing. Sipping out of this Simply Cyber mug. Oh, yeah. My only gripe about the Simply Cyber mug is it's not big enough. I need, like, one of those, you know, oversized American coffee cups. Reach from Kuwait coming in. Alicia Jerry, great to see you on the stream last night. Alicia was one of the attendees of the 70-plus people who joined us last night, as Virginia Case from Stratic Marketing was my guest. We talked about how to brand yourself personally and as a cyber professional and how to get a side hustle. By the way, hey, Lupe Peterman. Whoa! Blast from the past, Lupe. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Justin Loken. Hey, guys, after the stream last night, I talked to Virginia about coming on. We are going to get a load of this. Tentatively October 15th, we are going to do Virginia's office hours, and we are going to go, it's just going to be, hey, it's Virginia again. You guys remember, let's get into it. We're going to go through 2 LinkedIn profiles and fully evaluate them and then actually hands-on Canva, you know, repair them. And one side hustle website, Virginia's going to go through it and give her analytical take on UX design and marketing of that side hustle site. I have not selected the 2 LinkedIn accounts nor the side hustle website. Just know we're going to have a working session on October 15th. It's going to be sick. What's up, Kimberly? Good to see you. Oh, good. I'm happy to hear you're doing great. Oh, Chris Weaver. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I thought Virginia was fantastic too. Oh, yeah, Seth's in the house. Bringing it from Seattle. Hey, Seth, I appreciate you getting up at 5 a.m., my man. I know it. Love it. I heart NIST too, Jim Wales. Sekmeister, good running, man. Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right, let me get some of this coffee, and then we are going to dig into the stories. You guys, happy Friday. Really made my morning here. All right, let's get into it. Maybe I'll do a raffle for whose LinkedIn accounts get picked. You know, just to be fair, and only enter if you want to be, you know, like you will be brought on stage. Your LinkedIn profile will be, for lack of a better term, roasted, but then fixed, right? So, 5:45 sprint today. Oh, look at this guy pushing it. All right, I gotta hit the run too today. All right, guys, let's get into the news and see what we got.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
It's Friday, August 19th, 2022. Google blocks largest HTTPS DDoS attack reported to date. A Google Cloud Armor customer was hit with a 69-minute-long distributed denial-of-service attack over the HTTPS protocol that reached 46 million requests per second, making it the largest ever record of its kind. Google says that it was the equivalent of getting all the daily requests to Wikipedia in just 10 seconds. The malware behind the attack is suspected to be part of the Meris botnet. Google researchers say that the attack traffic came from just over 5,200 IP addresses in 132 countries and used encrypted HTTPS requests, indicating that the devices sending the requests had strong computing resources.
Interesting. Interesting. I'm just looking here really quickly at something. 5,000 IP addresses involved. I'm sorry. Give me 1 minute. This one is kind of interesting. I wanted to understand something. Okay. Hey, BSEC, how's this for a network flow diagram when talking about there's some issues with the network. Jesus, look at this thing. Okay, so guys, a Google Armor customer did not realize that Google had a a denial of service attack service called Armor, but I guess they do. A Google client who obviously had some forward-facing web app, maybe a SaaS application, right? You can imagine if your entire business is like Netflix, where, if people can't get to you online, you basically don't have a product. Some client got attacked. They did not say who the client was. I have to assume it was a SaaS product provider, because if someone hits your like VPN concentrator, who cares, right? Like, yeah, it sucks if you work from home or work remote, but like people can deal for 69 minutes of downtime, right? But if you're a cloud service provider, if you're Amazon, which this isn't Amazon, but if you're Amazon, just to make a hyperbolic point, you're losing lots of money per minute, okay? Here's the deal. It's a Maris botnet, so it came from 5,000 different IP addresses across the world. These are infected machines, so this could be like your Aunt Kathy's computer. This could be my workstation computer. It better not be, because this thing's new. But it could be anything. It could be a Nest thermostat, right? I don't know enough about the Maris bot malware to know if it's like only Windows machines or whatever. But the point is, bots can be infected anywhere, and you could be operating on the machines and not know it, because it's not like it's actively like a gremlin eating your screen or something stupid. It's just laying dormant, waiting for a command. Once it gets the command, boom, it starts blasting data at an IP address, at a target, right? At an objective. And that's essentially what happened here. Now, what's interesting is it was HTTPS, so you can't really, you could decrypt it to see like what information it is. Typically, you don't see, at least in my experience, you don't see HTTPS type attacks simply because there's extra handshakes, right? So you've got the TCP three-way handshake, and then there's like a four-way, this is probably not the right way to say it, but like a four-way TLS handshake. So there's extra of like protocol maintenance going on, which I guess does take time. So if you think about it, time and resources to do that handshake, but it takes time and resources on the client side too, but it is a compromised bot. Guys, I'm just kind of working this out in my head right now. So maybe it's not a big deal. It was HTTPS, or if it was not HTTPS, or it was UDP versus TCP. Anyways, long story short, they pushed a lot of data. They held it up for 69 minutes. They stopped doing it, obviously, because it was either ineffective or they wanted to protect their net, their botnet. It did say in the story that it was like they had to bring it down because it was expensive from the attacker's perspective right here. Presumably not having the desired impact while incurring significant expenses to execute the attack. I'm actually kind of curious about that. Like, guys, I'll be the first to admit that I definitely don't know everything. In fact, I know a fraction of something. But what is the cost? Like, what is the expense? I'd be curious, guys, in chat, if you want, drop it. I go back and look afterwards. What is the expense that the attacker is incurring, right? You own a botnet, so all of the work is already done. You've already invested into the botnet, so there's no additional expense there. You've got it. You weaponize it and send it to a target, right? All the load is on the botnet, on the individual nodes. And if I reboot my computer because my network at my house is running slow, one bot falls out of the botnet. It's like a legion, and you're just spraying a couple and they go down, but the zombie horde continues to move forward, right? So I don't see what expense there is. Anyways, unless it's the cost of the botnet, right? Like, as bots are identified, they get cleaned and removed, and now the value of your botnet goes down, I guess. But anyways, distributed denial of service attack, they all look the same. They have different protocols that they use for the attack, but they all look the same. It's a host of, in fact, this is the answer to the interview question. Distributed denial of service, it's a host of compromised machines called bots that all push data at a target for a specific amount of time. Think of it as a fire hydrant, and the botnet, in order to execute the distributed denial of service, you open up the fire hydrant, but you have to hold the tension on the wrench. The second you let go of the tension, the fire hydrant closes, the water stops, and the denial of service attack ends. It's not something you set and forget. It has to be maintained. Okay. And this has been The More You Know.
Command's rotation problem exacerbates talent shortage amid growing digital threat. Lieutenant General Charles Tuna Moore, second in command behind General Paul Nakasone, has retired after serving roughly 5 years at Cyber Command. He had completed the Harvard Kennedy School cybersecurity program in 2019 and helped oversee the military's primary digital warfare unit. According to White House officials, Pentagon leaders, and lawmakers, Cyber Command remains understaffed, with long-standing policies and a military staffing system that makes it difficult for seasoned military leaders to remain. A new version of
Okay, so here's the thing. This guy was forced into retirement, and I get it, but dude, come on. Like, it's not like... Okay, so from what I know, and I know there's a ton of veterans and active duty in chat right now, so obviously fact check me. I did not serve. Most like positions are like 3 years, and then you rotate, you move like your family and everything like that, unless it's like your final stop, and then maybe you double shift, and then you do 6 years there, and then you retire or whatever. Maybe you land in Hawaii. But this dude right here, he did 5 years as second in command at Cyber Command. 5 years. Like, what did you want this guy to do? Like a second career in Cyber Command? Like, I get that there is a loss of institutional knowledge and tribal knowledge that happens when you have someone in a senior position that was really effective, not just a figurehead, leaving the firm, leaving the company, leaving the government, whatever. It sucks. But what did you expect this guy to do? Like, I give him credit for staying a couple extra years longer instead of going private sector, guys. I mean, with this guy's creds, he'll like quintuple his salary in a hot minute going to like McKinsey, where they can just wheel him out and be like, we've got 4-star general of Cyber Command who's going to like look at your, like, lead your cyber strategy. $10 million. Okay, done. Like, where do we sign up? So this guy's going to get paid. I appreciate his service wanting to do that, but come on, let's talk about like rotation problem, exasperating talent shortage. How about we fix the, like, this is so like, it just annoys me, okay? There's a bigger systemic root cause issue going on here, and like the rotation problem exasperating it. Like, you should have processes in place for like knowledge life cycle documentation. Documentation, what a terrible word. Listen, like, if you document SOPs, if you have people being brought up, right? Instead of like putting your hand on someone's head and mushing them down, how about you put your hand down and open and pull them up? There's an idea. Here's a novel technique, right? And that way, when you pull people up, they are ready to step into your role, or step into a role that can support your function at an organization in an effective, meaningful way. So anyways, long story short, to me, this sucks, obviously, for United States national security at the cyber, battle space. But to me, it's a bigger, what's the word I'm looking? There's definitely a nerdy, college word I'm looking for here. It's more of a, whatever. It's a problem highlighting the fact that there is a talent. It's not just a talent issue, right? Like, individuals can get talent, right? There's more of an issue. Like, what we're doing in Simply Cyber is not the norm. People aren't normally helping and going like out of their way to do stuff like this. Like, whatever. I'm like, okay, obviously the coffee's working. This is like a bigger workplace shortage, talent shortage, quote unquote shortage. HR is broken. The way people put open quals, the way that we don't do apprenticeships, although we're starting to do it, all of that. Okay. In the US military, come on, guys. Like, I feel like this story is kind of busted too. Like, I bet you whoever's replacing him is probably wicked qualified. Okay. Wicked qualified. They're not going to put someone second command of Cyber Command who's got like just like got out of boot camp or something like that. Obviously, right? They're probably going to put some gray-haired 3-star who worked in the cyber theater, which probably there's a lot of them now. So whatever. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it today, you guys. Hopefully you're with me.
BlackByte ransomware uses LockBit-inspired extortion techniques. Along with the release of version 2.0, the BlackByte ransomware gang is offering some novelties to its extortion service. These include allowing victims to pay $5,000 to postpone the leaking of their data by 24 hours, download the data for $200,000, or destroy all the data by paying a $300,000 ransom. These prices are not fixed, of course, and could vary depending on the importance of the victim. BlackByte is an organization that has had prior success in the US, having breached at least 3 organizations from US critical infrastructure sectors. Winnti hackers split Cobalt.
Okay, hold on one second. Okay, so here's the TLDR. There's a ransomware threat group that basically has come up with some creative ways in order to squeeze more money out of their victims, all right? You know, BlackByte ransomware versus LockBit versus Hive, whatever. It's just ransomware, right? Like the details, if you get attacked by them or you're trying to make sure that your protections are in place to prevent the attack, yeah, you could dig in a little bit, but each one is a little different in the way that they move. The story here is about their extortion strategy. Normally, you know, Conti, Wizard Spider, which is the same gang, right? Wizard Spider was the gang. Conti was the malware that they ran for ransomware. They kind of pioneered or made popular the double extortion technique. So guys, up until like 2020 or 2021, it used to be like you get hit with ransomware, like WannaCry famously, and then there's a ticker, right? You got 24 hours, 48 hours. You're putting that urgency in place to get your data. And if you didn't pay in the window of time, the data, you would lose your access to be able to buy the key. Your data just stays encrypted. Then in 21, they started exfilling the data because they realized that people were getting better at backups faster. Security vendors were coming out with solutions in order to make ransomware impact lower. So you just restore, you know, maybe if you have to restore from bare metal, it sucks and takes a little longer, but still you just restore, no big deal. So they started pulling off data and they say, hey, listen, we got your data too now, bro. So go ahead and restore. We don't care, but we're going to sell your data. We are going to get paid, which, by the way, hat tip to the threat actors. I do this on the show regularly. I don't endorse them or support them. I'm not a threat actor, but I do love their business acumen. They are savvy on wanting to get money. You talk about a side hustle and really pushing it. These guys are brilliant. So they said, we're going to get paid. We're going to get paid. Hold on. I'm assuming that's not for me, Eric. So they're going to get paid, right? Hold on. All right. I don't know what this is. So now these guys come up with a third thing. So they're either going to like, I'm sorry, I got distracted by mod chat. Okay. So here's the deal. Now you can pay to have your data not published on the dark web. So you're paying to either restore your data from backups. My God, I'm going to just close mod chat, guys. Okay. So listen, you can either pay to get your data back, right? Or you can restore because you have backups. Either way, you're going to cost money. Then you can pay to have your data not leaked to the public, or you can pay now to have your data deleted permanently, which, by the way, what kind of level of assurance do you get when you're dealing with criminals, right? We promise we'll delete it. So whatever. Here's my thing. I really wonder, I wonder if these guys sit around on a Thursday meeting and they're like, oh God, what do we got to do? Let's brainstorm, guys. Let's brainstorm, guys. Come on. They get a hype PM come in. They're like, all right, guys, let's brainstorm. How can we squeeze more money out of our victims? How can we squeeze more money out of our victims? And they're like, well, what if we tell them that we'll publicly embarrass them? No, we tried that. That didn't work. Okay. What if we allow them to buy more time before the data gets deleted? Huh? Say $5,000. Ooh, that's a brilliant idea, Chuck. Let's go with that one. And now that's what they're offering. There's never before been an opportunity to extend the timer. I think as part of ransomware negotiations, you could ask for more time. I mean, at the end of the day, the criminals want money, but they're offering you the ability to buy time for $5,000, which I guess must be working if they're offering it. But it is kind of funny when you're put in a position of pressure, and time is of the essence. Being able to buy more time is really interesting. Okay, now hold on. This does look like it's related to the show because Eric's saying it's for me. I can't zoom in on that. Here, let me see real quickly. This is coming in hot right now. Is there a screen? I don't know where the screenshot is. Is this the oh yeah. I mean, I guess this is it right here. Yeah, you can. So these are your options. Like, please choose. It's like a button. At least they do make it really simple for end users to understand. Okay. Yeah, $5,000, $300,000, $200,000, destroy all information. Which, by the way, can you imagine being a business and paying $300,000 to wipe out all of your data? That kind of sucks. Open to the public, not the victim. Okay. All right, I'm a little confused on this story. I'm going to keep rolling. We could talk afterwards, Eric. I'm not really sure what you're saying here, but it definitely something to do with Tor and open to the public. All right. Anyways, let's keep going because I'm getting distracted and confused.
Strike into 154 pieces to evade detection. The Chinese Winnti hacking group, also known as APT41 or Wicked Spider, targeted at least 80 organizations last year and successfully breached the networks of at least 13. As part of these campaigns, Winnti used various methods in their malicious operations, including phishing, watering holes, supply chain attacks, and numerous SQL injections. One of Winnti's unique deployment methods for the Cobalt Strike beacons involved obfuscating the payload on the host to evade detection by software. According to a Group IB report, the hackers encode the payload in base 64 and break it into a large number of smaller pieces consisting of 775 characters, which are then echoed to a text file named dns.txt.
Okay, so this is not uncommon. Okay, so, all right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. If you signed up for, like, this is just a perfect segue. Right now, it's been all the buzz all week, but right now, for $1, you can get the GRC Analyst Master Class from me. For $1, you can get Practical Malware Analysis and Triage from TCM and Linux 101 and Practical Ethical Hacking. So for $4, you get all four. But I want to focus on the Practical Malware Analysis and Triage because that class right there is directly related to this right here. So Cobalt Strike is a post-exploitation framework that is supposed to be designed for like legitimate red teamer and penetration testers in order to set up an infrastructure to kind of manage an engagement. So here's the thing. I knock out Joel Belton's computer on Joel Belton's ice cream shop network, right? One of the first things I'm going to do is install Cobalt Strike because now Cobalt's going to beacon back to my C2 server where I can control it and see what's going on. Plus, as I start moving laterally through Joel Belton's ice cream shop's network, which, by the way, Joel Belton's ice cream is the fake company that I like to use from time to time. Cobalt Strike starts beaconing and installing itself on other machines, and I slowly start getting a picture. It is a very rich and very function-rich post-exploitation framework, okay? So Cobalt Strike's wicked popular. They're not supposed to sell it to criminals. Criminals get cracked versions all the time. Wizard Spider actually had a licensed version of it that they bought through a shell company. Anyways, we see Cobalt Strike all the time. But at the same time, defensive security measures know what Cobalt Strike is. Defensive security measures love looking for Cobalt Strike because threat actors use it all the time. Why wouldn't we look for it? So how do you hide? How do you, as you can see in the title, evade detection? Well, one of the ways you can do it is through obfuscation. Obfuscation is a common technique used by malware authors in order to make it more difficult, to analyze by a human, right? So you look at the code and it's not written well. That just means it's my code. But if you look at the code and everything is all mushed together, there's no line breaks, variables have stupid names, and it's just a hot mess on fire, that's obfuscated code, right? It makes it wicked hard to analyze, very time consuming. Well, you can use base 64, which is basically just kind of a, I guess it's not really a hashing algorithm because you can reverse it, but it's basically an encoding. It's an encoding technique and you can encode and you can decode base64. And as you can see here, they took the Cobalt Strike payload, which is basically going to install Cobalt Strike on a victim, and they broke it up into several parts. Just guys, remember, a file, an executable, a text file, a binary, a jar file, it doesn't matter. It's just like glyphs and code, right? You can break it up into smaller pieces and then reassemble it. There's no reason. Obviously, you can't execute 1/18 of a Cobalt Strike payload and get 1/18 of the functionality. It needs to be reconstituted into the original executable. But you can do that. You could see here, these dudes broke it up into small enough pieces and then encoded it with base64, that's what this is, and then wrote it to a DNS.txt file. And you can see the little caret at the bottom, like in purple. I don't know if you can see that, but right here, well, this is a picture, so I can't highlight it, but this thing right here, that means append. So you're not overwriting the DNS text file, you're adding to it. And basically, if you were to watch this DNS text file using like a tail command or something, you would start seeing it build itself. So all they're doing here is building the Cobalt Strike payload on the victim machine, okay? By the way, when they assemble it and run it, if there's defensive measures on the endpoint, it's going to detect it. But they're evading essentially network detection and any type of like appliance that does like looking at files that are being sent across a network connection and stuff like that. So that's what this is. Long story short, this isn't easy. This is a lot of work. And this is where we get into level of effort for threat actors, right? As you raise the level of effort, it's more time consuming. But, you know, this looks like it was China kind of APT type operator. I've never heard of Winnti, but... Oh, okay. APT 41. That's China's big boy. Okay. APT 41 is China's like A team, right? Their varsity squad. But guys, I lost my mind earlier this week, and I'll lose my mind every single time. Can we please get a naming convention that's standardized? I've never heard of Winnti hacking group. You know what I have heard of a lot? APT 41. I'll even give them Wicked Spider. Okay, whatever. APT 41. That is, everybody knows that one. Winnti hacking group. Like, who named this? Like, why? Why? Why do you have to rename it? Like marketing? The marketing people? It's so annoying, dude. So anyways, APT 41 going to extreme lengths to hide a payload. All right, now let's do the read.
This week's sponsor, 6 Clicks. With 6 Clicks, organizations can manage enterprise risk easier than ever before. 6 Clicks helps you identify your risks, group them into risk registers, and run risk assessments. It highlights causes and potential impacts, outlines risk treatment plans, and helps you manage the full treatment lifecycle. For more information, visit 6clicks.com/CISO series. That's the number 6, CLICKS.com/CISO series.
All right, here we go. So I do want to thank everyone for being here. I said this in the inset, but if you got here a little late, wanted to remind you. Guys, I love having you here in person, especially, I love my LinkedIn people, so this is no knock on them, but the YouTube people, you get the richer emotes, you can do the polls and stuff like that. LinkedIn, YouTube, the live stream, team replay, all of you, I absolutely love having you guys as part of this, but I'm real and I'm not exclusive, okay? So I want this knowledge to get to you in the way that works best for you. That's why I literally, after each show, go and take the audio, rip it out of Restream, the platform I'm using, and then go to another website and install it. I upload it to a podcast app aggregator thing that I pay $20 a month for, and I push it so you can get it onto your podcast app of choice, so you can listen to it in the car, at the gym, in the shower, mowing the lawn. You can load them all up and listen to multiple ones, okay? I do it because I want you to get the knowledge. So if you don't know, that now you know. You can get this on this. Now, obviously, this is full send one direction. We can't engage back and forth, A, because it's team replay, and B, because it's audio, so you won't see these hand gestures and all that stuff. But I just want to make everybody aware we are averaging over 100 downloads a day, which is pretty cool. And, I appreciate it. If you do the audio podcast of choice, if you are listening to this right now on the audio app, because that's the way you consume it, and you have any constructive feedback, don't tell me that I suck. Like, that's fine, but that doesn't do anything for me. But if you have some feedback on how to make the audio podcast better, shoot me a DM or something and let me know. If I'm going to do this, if I'm going to put the effort in to do this, I'd like it to be useful to all of you, okay? Also, a quick reminder, guys, starting this Monday, like before you get up, before I go live, you're going to receive an email, and it's going to have 3 stories from this week, one that's targeting end users, one for peers, one for executives. And I'm going to give you a very quick synopsis on what the story is. And then in bold font, I'm going to tell you exactly what the action is on what I would expect myself or someone reporting to me could use it for to be actionable. Okay. So I forget, I had one yesterday. The USB drive that, threat actors are sending out, right? That's a perfect one for end users. You can totally operationalize that for end user awareness. And I tell you exactly how to do it and how to, like, not bend it, but like basically you should focus on family, friends, and loved ones for those end users to share that knowledge to protect those people that they care about personally, not the business, the people they care about. Okay. Anyways, it's short, succinct. It's very scannable. I'm trying to make this cool. So if you're interested, you go to pages.simplycyber.io/news. I'll put it in the chat. If you want to get this, again, this is like a brand new thing. So any constructive feedback is greatly appreciated. There's a link in chat. I think it's going to be cool, guys. I think it's going to be cool, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's get back into the news.
Google patches Chrome's 5th zero-day of the year. Google has patched the 5th actively exploited zero-day vulnerability discovered in Chrome this year as one in a series of fixes included in a stable channel update released on Wednesday. The bug, tracked as CVE 2022-2856 and rated as high on the CVSS score, is associated with insufficient validation of untrusted input in intents, according to the advisory posted by Google. Google credits Ashley Shen and Christian Rizal of its Google Threat Analysis Group for reporting the zero-day bug, which could allow for arbitrary code execution, on July 19th. The advisory also unveiled 10 other patches for various other Chrome issues.
All right, so this is, what was the score on this one? Did they say what the score was? This is the advisory that they released. You can see here's all the 10 CVEs. Real quick shout out. What's up, Brent Gary and Emerson watching on their Friday morning. It's good to see you guys. It's been a minute. You guys can't really see this advisory blog post. Does this apply? It says Mac and Windows, so this applies to everybody. Okay, 11 security. All right, so here's the TLDR. Here's the TLDR. You should definitely advise, if you're a smaller business, right, like you don't have managed endpoints where you can push patches and stuff. And I don't even know if you can use AD to update Chrome. Since Chrome's like an app, there maybe you can, not AD, but you know what I mean, like pushing through some kind of managed interface like Avanti or something like that. So either way, you should definitely, Chrome is one of the more popular web browsers. This is a 0-day. I don't know if it's actively being exploited. They didn't say it in the story, so I have to assume it's not being actively exploited. Active exploitation, raising the level of urgency on how quickly you need to patch it. Just take an opportunity, you can use this picture of the Chrome and the Band-Aids in a quick little email, send it out to your user community and say, hey, listen, just a quick reminder, Google Chrome has a, I wouldn't even say 0-day because that's going to kind of fall flat on end users, but you could say, hey, Google Chrome has a major weakness that's recently been fixed. Be sure to update your Google Chrome unless you want to be absolutely pantsed and red-bottomed. Maybe you don't throw that last part in there, but basically take an opportunity to just tell them, maybe show them a screenshot of clicking on the update and how to update it. Basic, guys, basic hygiene, cyber hygiene. Keep your apps updated, right? It's easy to keep your operating system updated. It's a pain. Yeah, Ron Clark says you can do it with Winnti. So, but not all businesses, right? Smaller businesses, businesses without a centralized IT infrastructure, you know, probably the Chrome app on mobile devices might be in scope of this too. Tell your friends, tell your family. Hide your kids, hide your wife. So, anyways, patch your stuff. And by the way, I say this every time it comes up, which isn't all the time, but Google Tag, the Threat Advisory Group, Google Project Zero, those two organizations, definitely worth taking a moment. Open a new tab right now. Just type in Google Threat Advisory Group, enter, open a tab, type in Google Project Zero, hit enter, come back to the broadcast, and then afterwards, go check out those two, I guess, teams or functions or capabilities, whatever you want to call it. They are doing amazing work. They have wicked smart people working for them. Like Malware Unicorn, I believe, is on that team. Tavis Ormandy is definitely on Google Project Zero team. There's a couple really great professionals who are just very smart, doing really, really wonderful things in there. So definitely worth checking out and get your stuff patched.
Cybersecurity workforce diversity efforts lag in the C-suite. While the cybersecurity field has attempted to make strides in diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives in recent years, 82% of cybersecurity executives leading the industry today are white men. A recent study of global security executives found that 18% of C-level leaders surveyed identified as diverse candidates, which the survey defined as people of color and/or women. In the United States, the percentage of diverse executives decreased slightly compared to the global rate, with 14% of U.S. cyber leaders surveyed identifying as women and/or people of color. The survey did not report an option for other gender minorities, and 3% of the respondents preferred not to respond to the question categorizing their gender. These demographics in the C-suite reflect less gender diversity in high-level cybersecurity leadership roles than in the industry as a whole. According to an ISC Squared workforce study, women make up 24% of the cybersecurity field.
All right. So, I guess there's a little bit of medicine, a little bit of honey, I guess, or whatever you want to say. So this is a mixed bag report. It seems that, they're saying at the highest levels, i.e. CISO or boards, study of senior executives at the C level. Okay, so CISOs roughly 82% are white males. So kind of a lack of diversity at the top of the org chart, if you will. But some good news, I don't know what the trend data would show, but 24% of the current cybersecurity workforce is female. So there is some being done for cybersecurity diversity. I do want to point out, this was Clint Bodungeon's that he shared on the ThreatGen live stream that we did live from Black Hat, that walking around the business hall, there was a lot of diversity, both in ethnicity, color, gender, age, like all the kind of dimensions, not all the dimensions, but several of the dimensions of diversity was being really well represented at Black Hat. So that was very cool to see. I want to share personally, I haven't really shared this with anyone. I told people maybe 6 months ago, Kimberly, I think I shared it with you. Simply Cyber, right? So I've done it for almost 3 years now, and I get YouTube demographics of male and female, and how accurate that is, I have no idea. But for the longest time, it was like 95% male, 5% female. And I really didn't like that, honestly. Like, I didn't want to make it a big deal that I wanted to increase the percentage of female audience members, right? So, because I don't want it to be exclusive for men. I think that our industry, first of all, I think women can do the job just as well as men. And I think that there's an opportunity there to make it more inclusive for other people. And I'm big on inclusion. I'm big on support. So I've been working, in an effort to kind of make it more approachable, because I don't know what the problem is. I didn't know why I had these lopsided things. Am I like not approachable or whatever? So I started like a Pinterest for Simply Cyber, and that really didn't gain much traction. I have female guests as much as I have male guests, right? Virginia was on last night. And I actually looked at it on Monday just because I was looking at my metrics and stuff. And I'm happy to report that now the percentage is 86% male, 14% female. So it's not going to be 50-50, right? Our industry isn't 50-50. They just said it's 24% female, 76% male, but whatever. I'm just saying it's cool, right? It's cool. Like, I'm all about, listen, I don't like, your gender really has nothing to do with your ability to execute information security. Can you help me protect my organization? Yes or no? Yes, let's go. Like, I really don't care what you're wearing. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what you look like. Can you do the job? Yes or no? Yes, let's go. No, maybe go get some work on some skills and come on back. Okay. All right, that's what's up with that.
Crypto.com lays off 260 employees and then quietly lets go of hundreds more. The 260-person layoff represents 5% of its workforce and is blamed on the widespread downturn in the crypto market. However, sources inside and outside the firm tell The Verge that the company had quietly let go of hundreds more employees since those initial layoffs. These new layoffs have not been publicized, and it is difficult to estimate their exact number. Crypto.com has been trying to limit knowledge of the extent of these departures even within the company. All of this suggests that Crypto.com, one of the most visible players in the crypto market, with a Super Bowl ad starring LeBron James and its own named stadium, formerly LA's Staples Center, might be under greater financial stress than is publicly known.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, can I just say, like, I get rid of the Charles Finfrock. I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it. I love it. I love it. For the KRS-One sound of the police sound effect. And then law enforcement stops doing all its stuff and crypto starts surging. So, I wish I had the Finfrock. Like, I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'll do a manual one. So Crypto.com laying off tons of employees. Guys, we are in the crypto winter right now. Crypto is losing value. People are realizing, the party's over. No one wants to clean up. Yeah, it's not completely devoid of any value, but a lot of these, there's so much scam. There's so many like charlatans out there, people hawking stuff, celebrities getting pulled into stuff. And I actually did a little bit of studying on this Crypto.com like maybe a month ago. So here's the problem with Crypto.com, and part of the reason why they're hemorrhaging. And I would suspect, I guess let me put it this way from a liability perspective. I wouldn't be surprised if this was not the last time we hear of some negative stuff happening. There we go. Thanks, Kimberly. If we hear some negative stuff from Crypto.com, it's bananas. And it just goes to further show you how much, it's not even a scam, but how like gross the whole crypto market is. So my facts are probably not 100% accurate, but the gist will be, okay? So here's the deal. Crypto.com raised a bunch of money. They also have their own like coin, like crypto coin or whatever that you can buy into. They raised, let's say, $1 billion, right? I think it was closer to like $900 million. They used most of that money. It was supposed to be capital invested by the investors, capital to kind of like, basically do loans. It's like a bank essentially, but they don't call themselves a bank. That way they're not regulated by FDIC or by any of the government regulators. Okay. So, but it's just like a bank. You give them money and then your money makes money and then you have more money, right? That's the deal. Well, Crypto.com, they ended up taking all that money and doing stuff like getting the naming rights to Staples Center, right? Where the LA Lakers play. It's called Crypto.com Stadium or whatever. That was a $700 million deal. $700 million for marketing. By the way, they also have LeBron James, Matt Damon, several other. Fortune favors the brave. Yeah, your marketing budget favors the brave, my friend. They pissed all their money away, all their investor dollars on marketing, right? And now because crypto is crashing, like no one's buying it, and who cares that you got a really fancy astronaut Matt Damon, right? It doesn't matter. People don't care. I call it the Staples Center, right? So like oops, like oof, right? So that's what's going on there. They're hemorrhaging money. All these crypto people are hemorrhaging money. It's not good. It's not good right now if you're in that space, okay?
Janet Jackson music video declared a cybersecurity exploit. The music video for Janet Jackson's 1989 pop hit Rhythm Nation has been recognized as an exploit for a cybersecurity vulnerability after Microsoft reported it can crash old laptop computers. That's nasty. Further investigation revealed that multiple manufacturers' machines would crash and that playing the video on one laptop would crash another nearby laptop. Investigation revealed that all the crashing laptops shared the same 5400 RPM hard disk drive, and the song contained one of the natural resonant frequencies that affected this model.
Ooh.
These days, however, very few machines have hard disk drives, let alone drives that rotate at the unfashionably slow speed of 5400 revolutions per minute. So arbitrary crash, we won't miss you much.
All right. Wow. See, this is kind of a fun, interesting one. I really would have thought it would have been her sophomore album, Dream Street from 1984, which was, panned across the industry as her worst effort. Although Joe Jackson was managing her at the time and demanded that she put out that crap vanilla music to capitalize on her success from her her debut album. But that aside, let's talk about Rhythm Nation. What a perfectly insane coincidence that the song that she played on her album resonated at a frequency, almost like a physical security attack in a way, that conflicted with 5400 RPM drives. Now, here's another thing that I'm kind of curious about. Like, who the hell is running Windows XP with a drive and throwing Rhythm Nation in? Like, someone who's living in 1989? Like, guys, I like retro synthwave, and yeah, I got a couple of, 80s style things going on with like my wallpaper on my phone and stuff. But I'm not living in a 5400 RPM hard drive world. What are we doing here? I do think it's interesting that it would crash drives nearby, which is wildly unheard of, really. But it makes sense because the CD is resonating out this frequency, which is disrupting the needle on the platters. So very cool. Interesting. I could see this being in a Mr. Robot episode, although I think Mr. Robot's done. You go into like some ICS environment, right? That's running old tech and everything. And just kind of blast Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation. You could technically, if you got big Serwin Vega tower speakers, you could stand outside the perimeter and just point them at the facility and turn it on and just have a dance party, all the while denial of service attacking the organization. I do not know if it's if it just crashes it or if it actually causes physical damage, because like it is a needle on a platter, right? So it could scratch. I don't know. But denial of service via Janet Jackson, it's a thing. It's a thing. So next time someone calls shenanigans on one of your wild case studies, just go ahead and have this one in your back pocket, and you could be like, oh, I don't have a Michael Jackson sound, like or whatever. Like you could just do like a and then like moonwalk out of the conference room. Listen, I know Janet Jackson didn't do the moonwalk, but the moonwalk's going to resonate with the people in the conference room. Plus, you're going to have like the most BA exit of a meeting ever. Okay.
Remember, we will not be hosting a Super Cyber Friday discussion this week, but never...
All right, so that's going to do it for this this day's stream. I did toggle off a bunch of things. I'm going to turn on the music right now. So feel me, people. 1 second. Here we go. 3. Okay, either I'm going to go underwater or it's going to sound great, okay? 3, 2, 1. Am I underwater? Could be. Yes, please do. Yep. All right, so let me know if I'm underwater, guys. Genuinely appreciate it. We hit about 160 people on YouTube this morning. Plus, obviously the LinkedIn and all the other channels that we got. Oh, good. I guess I figured it out. Guys, I'm going to be this weekend cleaning up, doing my cable management in my office. I'm going to be messing around with OBS. We may have a better look and feel. I'm trying to level up my video production now that my underlying hardware is better. I'll be playing World of Haiku. I'm talking to Eric Basu, the CEO of World of Haiku, about getting beta access to the pro version and doing some stuff with that. I've got the email coming out on Monday morning. Again, this is beta, so it's going to be a little rough, guys, but I think you'll get the point of what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm trying to accomplish... I'm trying to get this knowledge out here and make it actionable for you in a very quick and consumable fashion. And what I want you to be able to do is Monday we're going to do the live stream, and it's going to be fun, and you'll get knowledge about that particular day. But the email is going to be something that you can immediately operationalize. Like literally, if like you're at, not a stoplight, but if you take the train in, or you're like waiting, on a subway or an elevator or something like that, you literally can take what I'm saying and craft an email and send it to your end users, right? Or craft a message, or start working on a slide for the executives. Like, I'm just telling you, like in my mind, this thing is going to be very respective of your time and very actionable, and it's going to make you a better professional in your own capabilities and in the eyes of your peers and your bosses, more importantly. And then ultimately get the promotion, get the pay raise, high fives everywhere, or get another job because you'll just be delivering so much value. It'll be like insane. Oh yeah, if you can, Joe Belton, thanks for reminding, hit the like button. We do like 170 people, 180 people a day on this channel in the mornings, and we average like 50 likes, which again, I don't really care. I don't do it for the likes, but apparently the algorithm cares about the likes, and it will share this with other people, which is ultimately my goal. So that's the deal with that. So if you got any value out of it, take like 5 seconds. It's probably less than 5 seconds just to hit the little thumbs up button. I appreciate it, and it's good. All right, guys, if you want to do a raid, I'm getting this just in right now. This is coming in over the wire. Yes. Neil Bridges is on Cyber Insecurity right now. We can go ahead and raid. I will raid over there with you, meaning BSEC, if you can drop the link again. He is on Twitch. In fact, let's do it this way. Twitch, Cyber Insecurity. Let's take a look, guys. Okay.
A lot of traffic. At any point.
Okay, so there is Neil. He's wearing his Haiku sweatshirt or shirt or whatever. Let's go ahead and raid. I'm going to end the stream. Go over there. It's Twitch Cyber Insecurity. Drop a hashtag Simply Cyber in chat on his channel. That's how we raid. Y'all have a great weekend. You did wonderful this week. Super good times. Finish strong. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday at 8 a.m. Bye, everybody.